Hi YouTube, I'm Wes and welcome to Longleaf Flatwoods Preserve here in north central Florida. This is pretty close to home for me, so I thought I'd get out, do a nice hike today, just enjoy the outdoors while it's still fairly reasonable temperatures here in Florida. We're quickly getting into that time where it's going to get very hot and makes it more difficult to do things outdoors. But it's just nice to be outside in nature. We're here at Longleaf Flatwoods Preserve. It's kind of near Cross Creek, Florida, if you're familiar with the Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings, either the book or the movie that was made from the story of Cross Creek. We're kind of in that part of Florida, the north central part of Florida. It's still a very rural, very wild part of Florida. Nothing like the the sort of the beaches or the Disney World area that you see and people think of when they think of Florida. This is definitely a very wild and very natural part of Florida. It's very nice, and this is where I grew up. This is where I was born, and I love it here. So I love getting outdoors and enjoying this beautiful nature. So today we're going to go on a hike, not too far, maybe 4 or 5 miles, and see what we see. So if you'd like, follow along and see what we see. So welcome to Longleaf Flatwoods Preserve. Okay, so this place is named Longleaf Flatwoods Preserve, and this is a longleaf flatwood, and it's named that because of the longleaf pine trees that you see all around here. They are so named because of they have very long pine needles on them. They're very long leaves, and so that's why this is called Longleaf Flatwoods, because of the longleaf pines that we have in the area here. And this is a very sort of natural wild part of Florida where we have you see these palmettos here. There's lots of different varieties of palmettos, but this is a sort of a flatwood area. There will be wildfires that will happen that will sort of keep this brush kind of low. Really nice sort of open areas with the pine trees and everything, and it makes it a really nice hiking place to go. So behind me over here, we have a cut in the woods here done by the Forestry Service, and that's done to control wildfires or control fire in general. If they're planning to do a controlled burn, occasionally they'll do controlled burns to keep keep the underbrush down to you know, cut down on the risk of damage to, you know, local houses and properties. You know, they'll do controlled burns to burn off some of the underbrush to keep wildfires from getting out of control. So this is a way to control, you know, the spread of either wildfires or a controlled burn, and they cut these paths through the woods to control where the fire goes and how far it can spread. So that's something you run across in the woods here in Florida quite often, and the Forestry Service does a really good job of maintaining and working with the forests here to keep them under control and keep them as close to possible as what would naturally happen before people were here. As far as, you know, wildfires sort of keeping things cleared out, and you know, a lot of the animals and the plants rely on these wildfires or the controlled burns to go through their lives and have the foods and the resources they need. The fire sort of creates that ability for them to have those things that they need. So it's a thing we need to have here, and it's a way to keep our own homes and properties safe, as well as to have these controlled burns, or, you know, allow wildfires to happen but stay under control and do their job to sort of clear out the underbrush but allow life to flourish afterwards. So it's a really great process. So this is another thing that you might come across in the trails and woods of Florida, is these pieces of pottery that look like the orange sort of clay pots with the stripes on the outside of them. And this is a part of a hurdy cup, when that would be used, you know, the end of the 19th century and into the early 20th century for collecting pine sap or turpentine. It would be turned into turpentine. Big industry here in this part of Florida and all over Florida throughout that time period. The turpentine industry. So this is part of a pot that was used to collect pine sap to be turned into turpentine, to pre-processed into turpentine. So not an industry that happens here anymore, but sort of part of our Florida history, and something you might come across on the trails of Florida. This area I'm in now, lots of just sort of rolling land, and you've got some old growth pine trees mixed in with some turkey oaks and some live oaks, and yeah, really nice area. And of course you got the palmettos and some palm trees in here as well. But I just like the feel of this, and lots of pine needles and pine cones on the ground there. Really makes for a nice hike, really nice enjoyable hike. cluster of oak trees here. Very pretty area. Lots of shade and lots of beautiful color. Pretty cool place. So here we see signs of fire on this pine tree here, and you know, it doesn't hurt the tree if you have regular burns, you know, whether they be wildfires or prescribed burns. The idea is to clear out the brush, but keep the temperature low so that it doesn't actually hurt the trees. It just clears out the dead underbrush and gives room for more trees and more plants to sprout up. And so this charring here on this tree is just a representation of that happening. And here's a very young turkey oak sprouting up, and some wild grasses around here and other things that are sprouting up after this fire came through here. Probably been a few years ago since this fire was here, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. A continual cycle of life to happen, and new plants, new wildlife to get what they need here as far as the nutrients. Alright, so we're moving off the red trail onto the yellow trail. See where that takes us. Pretty sure we're going to be seeing some more little ponds or small lakes on this trail, so that'll be nice to see some water. I do have the drone with me, so maybe we'll get out and do some drone flying just to scout around a bit. So let's see where the yellow trail takes us. heading onto the white trail, kind of making our way back to the parking lot area. So let's see what this trail has to offer for us. Again, really beautiful day. The trails are really well marked out here. I'm impressed. I have no problem navigating out here. I haven't had that experience in other places. Sometimes it can be quite confusing, but yeah, I snapped a picture of the trail map on my way in, and yeah, everything makes sense. Everything's marked well. No problems at all navigating. Getting into some much older longleaf pines here, and yeah, I'll show you these real quick. Alright, so we've come to the proverbial fork in the road, I guess you could say. So we go this way, it's about half a mile back to the car. We go this way, it's about a mile back to the car. Not too much difference. Which way do you think we should go? If you chose the long way, I think today's a long way kind of day. Let's go. Take the long way. Take the long way home. Okay, so as we're heading back in this last little bit of our journey to get back to where we started today, just wanted to sort of inspire you all to get out, get into nature in this time period when we're doing, we're doing our physical distancing, social distancing, whatever you like to call it. There's nothing better than just to get out into nature, be one with yourself, and maybe head out with a family member. But it's nice just to get out on your own and just explore nature and just relax and think about things and de-stress and get some exercise and just enjoy the outdoors. And this is something we can do that's safe to do. And so if you're able, I say get out, find a place to go hiking, go walking, get into some nature and enjoy yourself and do some de-stressing. And yeah, I guess that's it. My inspiration is to get you out and enjoying nature. Definitely something we all could use a little more of. So here we are, back to the beginning, back to where we started a few hours ago. I hope you enjoyed the hike. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. Leave me any comments or questions down below you have. Yeah, definitely highly recommend this place, Longleaf Flatwoods Preserve. If you happen to be in the area, if we get into the area, yeah, check it out. It's a nice place to come hiking. Didn't see too much wildlife just because I came here in the middle of the day. If you want to see wildlife, the time to get out is in the morning or in the early evening. But yeah, midday, not too much activity going on, but that's okay. I just enjoyed myself, enjoyed the great weather, enjoyed the outdoors, and saw a few little, birds here and there, and some squirrels, and saw a deer at one point. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Get out and hike. Stay socially distant, physically distant if you can, and enjoy yourself and try to enjoy life as much as you can in these times we're in right now. So this is Wes signing off once again. Cheers.